I'm just going live. I don't know if anyone's gonna pop into this live. I'm just testing and seeing how this works. This is my first time going live on YouTube. No idea if anyone's gonna pop in, but I am cleaning right now. And in a minute, I'm gonna put on the Grammys. I think the Grammys are streaming on CBS and allegedly Prime Video, which I have. I don't have CBS, I have Prime, but I don't know. When I checked earlier, it seemed like it wasn't gonna stream on Prime, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But I figured I'd go live, test this out for the first time. Again, I might just be talking to myself for 30 minutes, but we'll see how it goes. Ooh, hi! How is Colorado? Last time I was in Colorado was, oh my gosh, the very beginning of 2024. I did a road trip through there and I drove I-70 all the way through it. And I stopped at Rocky Mountain National Park and it was incredible and I miss it dearly. It looks like we have 4 people in here. Welcome. This is my first time going live. I've never done this before. I don't really know what to do, but I'm about to do some cleaning and put on the Grammys in a bit. Oh, so you live around the Rockies. That's so sick. Oh my goodness. I remember when I drove out through Colorado for the first time. I'm from the South, so it was my first time driving out west, and then I got through Kansas and then got like into Colorado, and I remembered seeing mysterious clouds on the horizon, and then I was like, oh my god, wait, those are mountains. That's insane. And as a southerner, like, it absolutely blew my mind. There's very much so a trope where southern people like lose their mind seeing mountains for the first time, and I absolutely did. Oh, Shaft5515, thank you so much. I will try. I will try. Hi, Jenny. Yeah, going live is a, like, I don't know. I've never done it before. I see other people do it. I watch other YouTubers go live. I don't know if you guys watch Strange Day Diaries, but Asia goes live all the time. And the last time I was watching one of her lives, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna stop being a little scaredy cat and actually do it. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for watching my content. Oh my goodness. That really means a lot to me. It feels so cool making content again. When I was making content in the beginning, I was posting like exclusively on Instagram, and I was posting every day, and I was making like a series about my van build and how far I'd come along with it, and I was still in college, but I got super anxious about it after a while, and I realized it was because I was experiencing analysis by paralysis of what exactly to post, because I graduated college and then I was like, okay, well, I'm done now, and now I'm working a 9-to-5, but I still don't have all the capital and money I need to like actually leave the South and continue like being a nomad. So I felt like, well, I guess I can't make content about van life anymore because I'm a fraud van lifer, but it turns out that that's kind of BS, and you can kind of do van life from wherever, and van life looks like a lot of different things. And then after having that realization, I was like, wait, actually, let me just keep posting again. Thank you so much, Christine. I'm trying. I feel like I've been in this fight at this point for like almost, I got the van in August of 2024, so for a bit now. And the wildest thing about it is that for the longest time I thought I needed to do it faster and I needed to travel more often and I needed to be out of the South, but you can kind of water your grass where you are, and that's helped a lot. Anyway, What are you guys doing tonight? Is anyone watching the Grammys? I'm planning on watching the Grammys, which seems like a really nerdy thing to do these days, but I love award shows. I've been watching them since I was a kid with my family. It was kind of like a weird tradition for us, just watching award shows. We'd watch the Grammys and the Oscars and like the Emmys and all that stuff. So for me, it's like watching the Grammys just feels like, it feels like I'm back home. It's great. I'm curious where you guys are watching from. I saw someone's in Colorado. I'm in Central Arkansas. Do I have a Southern accent, by the way? Okay, so some people tell me that I have a Southern accent, but I don't think I do. I don't know. I was watching some of my recent videos though, and actually I was like, actually I might have a Southern accent. Ooh, Maryland. Actually, I don't know if I've been to Maryland. Wait, actually, hold on. I don't know if this is a crazy question. Okay, so Maryland is the DMV. I know that. Is that where Washington, D.C. is? Is that a horror? I've been to D.C., so does that mean I've been to Maryland? I'm like revealing myself so bad right now. Don't clown me in the comments. Is that where Washington, D.C. is? Is that in Maryland? It seems like a fake place. I don't know. It's like, I went once, I was young, we saw the sights, we left. Okay, bet. Okay, cool. There we go. Ooh. Oh my gosh. I just had a really good spaghetti. I think I ate it too fast though. I was really hungry. I spent like all of today in a coffee shop, just getting some work done. Anyway. Am I goth? I don't think I'm goth. I used to be in high school. I was like, I don't know. Do you guys remember Scene Kids? With like super straightened hair. It wasn't quite goth though. It was like, I was really into pop punk. I don't know. It was interesting. It was an interesting time. Okay, I need to figure out how to stream the Grammys. Allegedly they can be streamed on Prime Video. I don't know though. I need to go see. Am I a nomad? I'm trying to be. I've definitely done nomadic things. So for context, I have wanted to do van life and be nomadic since I was like 14 years old, and I'm in my mid-20s now. And when I went out to California for the first time, I flew there. But when I went to California, I saw so many van lifers. So the next time I had the opportunity to get out to California, yes, I am in a van. This is my van. Her name is Miranda Cosgrove. But the next time I had the opportunity to go out to California, I decided to drive in my Kia Soul and car camp the entire time. So when I did that, not only was I car camping in my Kia Soul, but I was staying in a lot of cities where a lot of other van lifers were living, like Moab, Utah. I stayed in, or right outside Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. So like a bunch of places where van lifers exist. And I thought to myself, oh my God, like I want to do van life. And I'd been following van lifers for a long time. And I finally felt like I could actually make van life a reality. So over that summer of 2024, I saved a bunch of money and ended up buying a van after that summer. And I finished my last year of college, and now I'm working a 9-to-5 and still saving to eventually stop working that job and make money from the road and make money from the internet and become a full-time nomad. Ooh, cargo trailers are cool. I'm so interested in building out different kinds of vehicles and different kinds of I don't know, things like trailers. My uncle is a used car salesman, so he has a lot of access to really cheap cars. And I had a thought a few days ago that it would be super fun to to work with him and get a super cheap, because a lot of the cars he actually gets for like free or like $50, like super cheap prices. And I thought it would be super fun to get a super cheap car and then build it out in like a weekend to make a video about that. Yeah, I want to go to the PNW so bad, and I love California. Like I said, I've spent 2 summers in Northern California. I was living in San Francisco, and like every weekend I took my car and I drove somewhere along the coast, and the farthest north I got on Highway 1 was right outside of Brookings, Oregon. And man, I really wished I explored Brookings more. I really wish I went further up to explore more of the PNW, because Oregon is so beautiful. Do I use the eyes for the glasses? What does that mean? Like the cameras? I do every now and then. I used to, so these are Ray-Ban Meta glasses, and they have cameras. They have a camera. And back in the day when I was training for a marathon, I would take photos and videos while I was running, and I thought that was really fun. Yeah, it seems like anywhere with high elevation isn't the move during winter time. Oh, yeah. The Sonoran Desert sounds fire. Oh my gosh, that sounds really nice. I want to be out in the desert. I miss the desert. Oh my god, yeah, buying land is... I feel like that's such like a trope for van lifers to buy land, but it seems like it's the move. I was thinking about it, and I was talking about it with a friend recently, that I feel like at some point I would love to buy land. I know that, oh my gosh, is it Bob Wells I think someone commented Bob Wells earlier, but Bob Wells is the guy with like cheap RV living, right? I think, yes, I hope so. But he made a video about how he bought some super cheap land out in, I think, Arizona. And like not even that much, like maybe an acre, maybe 2 acres. And he was just living on that, parking his rig on that and leaving whenever he wanted to leave. And that to me sounds really nice. I still, at my age, I have never rented an apartment and lived in it by myself. I've like lived in houses with people and rented houses and lived with roommates and lived in a college apartment, but I've never had the desire to like live in a whole ass apartment. Like it just seems, I don't know, with me wanting to travel, it just seems kind of like a waste of money. But I've always had the idea, like, yeah, if I had the opportunity to buy land, I would love to buy land and potentially build a tiny home or something like that. I know that laws around building permanent structures for living can be kind of wonky depending on where you are, but that is definitely something that I want to do in the future. The Matrix sucks. Oh, I hate it when we get hit by a bazooka. I am totally toasty. I'm so totally toasty. I've got my heater on full blast right now. It is, oh my god, my watch died. That's embarrassing. I think it's like 32 degrees outside, so we're right at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. If there are non-Americans in here, I'm so sorry. I think that's what, 0 degrees Celsius? Someone chewed me out on Reddit for saying it was like 16 degrees in my van the other day, and they're like, that's not Celsius, we don't know what that is. I'm so sorry. I'm an American, okay? Okay, anyways, it's like 32 degrees outside, it's freezing, okay? But it's totally toasty in here. I wouldn't know it's freezing outside. I'm cozy and cozy as a bug. I love being totally toasty. Yeah, that's something that, with the whole like sewers and electricity thing, I've looked a little bit into that. That's a problem for Ken. down the line, but it does seem like kind of a pain in the ass having to go through the city and the county and dealing with all that. $50,000 just for the permits? That sounds, that's up there. Is that, wait, for real? Oh my god. That's more than the tiny house itself. That's wild. Yeah, I too would like to live on land with other nomads. There was a period of my life where I lived in upstate New York, and I had some friends who bought some land out in like central eastern New York, and it was like 50 acres of land, and I didn't have a van at this point. I had my Kia Soul and a tent, but one of them invited me out and said, hey, come live on our land, we can hang out, you can help us build some yurts and shit. So I went out, and I remembered thinking to myself, like, this is it. I'm out here with a bunch of other like van lifers, even though I wasn't a van lifer at the time, and people who were building their own houses out of materials nearby, and I just thought that was the coolest thing on the planet. Super sick. I am not in a tank. I am in a 2004 GMC Savannah. That's about, oh gosh, like a little past halfway built out completely. And I am totally toasty. All right, so I have this light on right here, and I wasn't charging it. So it's like on its last leg. So if it dies, I'm gonna end the live. I don't know how long it's gonna last. We'll have to see. Hold on, I just got a notification. Fuck ice. Yeah, 50 acres is a lot. It was so expansive that we were actually like creating some trails to travel on because it was so big. And we were doing a lot of bushwhacking too, with all the like trees that were growing on the land. It was really fun. I want to go back. It was called Dumb Baby Ranch. I really want to go back to Dumb Baby Ranch. Hi Jupiter on the run. I just made spaghetti, and I need to put it away in a container. I actually might do that right now. I did forget to put my vegan cheese in the spaghetti, and I'm a little bit bummed about that. Okay, so I made a post like 30 minutes ago maybe asking what, actually no, I don't think I asked that. I just said I'm planning on going live every week. It's a Sunday night. My Sunday nights are pretty chill. What do you guys think about Sunday nights for going live and making that a regular weekly thing? Because I want to connect with you guys more often. Okay. Oh, this is actually so much spaghetti. This is good. Gonna have food to eat on for days. I am in the wonderful state of Arkansas, and as wonderful as it is, I am so ready to get out. I have lived here pretty much my entire life, except for a few years when I was living in upstate New York. I was living in Rochester, it's where I started college. And then I lived in Boston. Oh my God, Boston for like 2 months. And then I would consider 3 months over 2 summers, so like 3 months in 2024 and 3 months in 2023 to be living in San Francisco. So I did that too. That was super fun. Yeah. But Arkansas is the home. It's where all my family is, and it's very much so my home base. So I'm here in Arkansas. Sweet, okay. It sounds like Sunday nights is the vibe. I like Sundays. Sundays are chill. I was also trying to think of a posting schedule for when I should make videos and post them. Right now I'm going like balls to the wall with creating content because I'm trying to get my YouTube channel kind of off and running and get monetized, which, speaking of monetization, I just got monetized, or like halfway monetized through the YouTube partner program. So as of right now, I can do like super chats and we can do gifts, and I've created membership tiers. But so that's what I have access to right now, which is awesome and fantastic and fabulous. And I think I'm like 500 or so authenticated watch hours away from getting revenue from ads that play before or during my videos, so that's super exciting. I love the thought of having multiple streams of income, especially streams of income that don't tie me to a specific place. So I'm super excited about that. So yeah, woo woo, woo woo. Lil Ken is doing the damn thing. Do I have any advice for someone starting a YouTube channel about van life? Honestly, I mean, as someone who is also just starting a YouTube channel about van life, I would say just do it. And like, which is very cliche, oh my gosh. It's a lot easier said than done. But I don't know, in my experience, I'm someone who felt like, okay, if I have a van and if I'm not, you know, in the most beautiful places in the country, then I can't make content. And that's not even true. I don't even think you have to have a van. Personally, something that I feel like I'd be really interested in watching, and a lot of other people would be interested in watching, is getting from point A to point B, with point A being kind of the state of like living a life where you're happy and you're kind of doing your thing, but you know that point B for you is traveling and being in a van or, you know, an RV or whatever it is, and traveling regularly. Personally, I would be really interested in seeing content about people talking about that journey and what that's like. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. It feels a lot more authentic because there are so many van lifers out there and nomads out there that make content about, you know, point B, the good part, where they are traveling full time and they are doing it. And that's great. I watch it and I love it. But I feel like there's a bit of a gap of people talking about still being at point A and having the dream of, you know, being a full-time nomad. But that said, you know, whatever you want to make, if you're traveling already or if you're not traveling yet, it's all valuable. And as someone who spent almost a year worried about what kind of content I should make, I'd say just make it. Like, you're not going to get any benefit from not creating content. And the only way that you can find out if something works is to do it. And in my experience, like, doing it is the biggest motivator. And without getting soapboxy, I will say that for many people, the vast majority, fear and anxiety exists in the vague. In other words, if you don't know, like, let me back that up. You can't know until you actually try, right? So if you like want to make a YouTube channel and you just don't know how people are going to respond, and you're worried about that, and you're worried about, you know, saying the right thing, I've gotten to a point where I just have to say, like, I'm just going to do it anyway because I don't know. What I think doesn't matter. What matters is me actually doing the thing and continuing to do the thing and being consistent with it. That was super long-winded. That's my advice. What is the upkeep in TC? What's TC? I don't know what that is. I'm gonna assume you mean what's the upkeep in my van. That's probably not what you meant. I don't know. It's pretty easy. I sweep. I get oil changes every now and then. I make my bed every morning. I try and clean. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Okay. I still need to get the spaghetti in this container. Okay, there we go. I have a lot of dishes to wash tonight. Good heavens. And some water. I'm like nervous. Oh my gosh. That's so sick. What kind of van do you have? Doughboys Adventures, what kind of van? I don't think I've ever been to Michigan. But a bucket list item is visiting all 50 states. So I will get there at some point as long as I don't keel over and die. I need to see what time the Grammys actually come on. Hi Joy, thank you for subscribing, thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome. I'm just putting away some spaghetti. I've been putting away the spaghetti for the past 26 minutes. But I'm getting there. I'm just having too much fun engaging with you guys. Ooh, a 1989 Ford Club Wagon. Whoa, that's so sick. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry it got taken out by a drunk driver. My goodness. Chevy Express 2002. Those are good vans. Good on you for recording your Michigan trip, though. That's super sick. Stud? Stud? I live in a bus and it's currently in the shop, so I'm at my mom's right now until it's finished. That's so real. Thank you for talking about that. People out here don't want to admit sometimes shit goes wrong with the rig and you gotta hang out at mom's. That is okay. That's so cool. What kind of bus is it? Is it like a huge full length bus or like a short bus? When I wanted to in the beginning, I haven't talked about this. This is a fun story time. When I first really got into the idea of doing van life, I came this close, this close to selling my Kia Soul, and getting a used bus. And the day I was gonna drive out to, I think it was Arizona from Arkansas, to go look at this bus, my uncle called me that morning and he was like, hey, don't do that. That's not a good idea. Don't do it. And then I didn't do it. I don't know. I still think about what would have happened if I did sell my Kia and buy that bus. That was 5 years ago. I'm gonna be so honest, Gage, I don't know any Five Nights at Freddy's characters. The Grammys just started. Okay. I might have to, I'm not gonna bounce, I'll look at them later. You know how many times my vans need to be repaired when I was on the road? I don't. I'm just Ken. Right now, I'm in a 2004 GMC Savannah. This is my vacation home. I love it so much. Hey girl. Okay. I put my spaghetti in this container. Everybody please clap, because that took me a really long time. Okay. A 2002 Ford E450 shuttle bus that you're converting. Lived in it for 9 months, partially converted. That's so cool. Shuttle buses are sweet. I was looking at a shuttle bus for a minute there, but I ended up on good old Miranda Cosgrove, my van. I love her so much. With She and her 248,000 miles. Woo! Yeah, dude, I feel like as much as I appreciate the van lifers who have very much so like aestheticized and romanticized van life, I do find myself really gravitating towards people who are just like, people who are living the life and it's like not super sexy, you know? What's crazy is that for people who talk about van life, there's like two ends of the spectrum. When you make a piece of content about van life and it like goes viral and it hits what I like to call like normie TikTok or like normie YouTube, you basically get people who are like, oh, this person can only do this because they're super rich and they're like a trust fund baby, or they're straight up like, oh, you're homeless, this is gross, why would you want to do that? And it's like there's no in between, you know, like there are those of us out here who make decent money and work 9 to 5s but just want to live a more fulfilled and authentic and intentional life, and that's totally cool. He wants us dead. Ooh, I wish you the best with your bus. Oh, sometimes I worry about, I guess I don't worry about it, but if anything were to happen to Miranda Cosgrove, what I would do, the answer is I would hang out with a family member. But because I have another car, I'm very fortunate to have another car. I have halfway built out that car, so I can comfortably sleep in it, and there are components in this van that I can bring in there, like my Jackery, which is my power system. It's how I keep everything charged. I could bring that in there and exist pretty comfortably in it, but oh my goodness, I fear if I didn't have Miranda Cosgrove, I'd be so sad and like kind of losing my mind. I don't know. This van has become like my little cocoon, and it feels like a cocoon right now. I have the heater on and I'm super toasty and warm, but my gosh, it's kind of crazy. When I'm hanging out with friends or if I'm around family, I find myself thinking like, damn, I kind of wish I was in my van right now, because there really is no place like van. I wonder who's hosting the Grammys. I didn't look into that. I'm not worried about mine being Insta-worthy, just comfortable for me and my dog. I love how cozy small spaces are. Me too. I've always loved being in small spaces. When I was a kid, I have a twin sister, so I used to build these super elaborate forts for me and my sister, and it drove my parents, especially my mom, insane, because we would be like sleeping on the ground with this elaborate fort around us. And I built this fort and I was so proud of it, and the two of us were sleeping in that fort for the better part of a year. And my mom, I love her so much, but she was like, y'all can't be sleeping on the floor, like y'all have these nice beds that your father and I got for you, please sleep in your beds. But like 7-year-old me was like, no dude, I built this shit, I'm gonna sleep in this. This is my house. And I did, until like one day we came home from school and it had been torn down. But you know what, I made it, and here we are a few years later, and I'm in a van, so who got the last laugh? I don't even feel like I'm in a van. That's how comfortable and homey it is. I love that for dude. Yeah, it's homey. It's nice. I like it. I like it a lot. What does my sister think of my van life? We don't really talk about it very often, but she thinks it's pretty cool. I mean, she's very much so like she's kind of doing the more typical thing, but pretty much everyone in my family is pretty cool with me doing van life. There are some people who are like, oh, that's dangerous, you know, there are so many dangers with it, I hope you keep a gun with you and all this stuff, and fair, valid. But no, everyone around me is pretty chill with it. I'm probably gonna put the Grammys on in a bit, but I'm having a good time. I think I'll give this live 5 more minutes, and then I think I'm gonna get off. I think I'm gonna make a video about car camping in a Kia Soul. Because the Kia Soul is, I think, a criminally underrated car camping car. It's surprisingly spacious. Is it warming up any in there? In here, it is super warm. It's probably like, I need to get a thermometer for my van, but I'm actually turning down my heater because it's getting a little too toasty. But it's pretty nice and warm in here. It's freezing outside. Yeah, the diesel heater will keep you nice and toasty. I was actually surprised how warm my diesel heater kept my van during the big winter storm that we just got here down south. But when I first got the heater, I didn't expect it to be nearly as effective as it's been. And it's amazing. I cannot recommend diesel heaters enough. This has really completely changed the way that I do van life. I recently made a video about van life and heat, but long story short, I got this van August of 2024, and in 2024 through 2025, that winter, I tried to live in my van, or I tried to exist in it. At that time, I was doing my last year of college, so I still had a campus apartment, so I could just live and sleep in my apartment. But I had the van, and I was like, well, I'm building out this van, so I might as well, be in it as often as I can to get used to it. But when it started getting cold, dude, I just couldn't do it, because I had no way to really stay warm unless I was completely bundled up in all of my blankets and wearing my wool socks and my beanie and had my 12-volt heated blankets on. I was freezing my tooties off, and that was just not very nice, so I caved. But now I have a diesel heater, and I am totally toasty. I car camped in a 2019 Kia Soul on a trip from, Virginia to Calgary, Alberta, back in 2023. It was so fun. That sounds fun. Wow. Wow. Do I really like Bob Marley? Oh my gosh. Wow. Some people have told me that I also look like, oh god, what's his name? Lenny Kravitz. But that's usually when I'm wearing aviator sunglasses. Last winter I had to keep my windows cracked open while I slept. The diesel heater would mostly keep me nice and toasty. Yeah, it'll do it. It's getting a little bit warmer in Arkansas. It got pretty warm the other day. It got up to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's warming up. It looks like later on this week it's gonna get pretty warm. It's gonna get up to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So it'll get pretty toasty. But I think we're gonna get another cold spell before it actually starts really warming up again. Does it ever worry you that if you get into an accident, you'll lose your only car or your whole house? Dude, yeah, it freaks me out. It really freaks me out. I don't you look nothing like Bob Marley. I guess we'll never know. But yeah, it does freak me out. I'm a really good driver, and I'm really good about kind of staying out of trouble with accidents and stuff like that, but statistically, yeah, it freaks me out a lot. But all I can do is, I don't know, just have faith that even if something like that were to happen, that I would be okay. I'm a retired combat that, thanks to you, I realize I'm not getting any younger, so I bought a minivan and I'm on the road with my service dog. That's so sick! I love that for you. Wow. And thank you for your service. That's amazing. That's so cool. And minivans are fabulous for car camping. My mom had oh my god, she had a tank of a Honda Odyssey, and she sold it, years ago, but I remembered thinking to myself for a while, and that thing got up to 330,000 miles. It was stupid. But yeah, minivans are Minivans are the shit. Sorry about my last message. Read like I had a stroke before writing it. Wait, what was your last message? Oh, no, you're good. You're good. I got it. I got it. The ADHD brain. I can get it. I can get it. You have a great attitude. You'll go far with that. Thank you so much. I try. I haven't always, I struggled for a while with it. I was depressed and super anxious, but there comes a point where when you kind of like hit rock bottom mental health wise, like when you're in the depths of a depression and catatonia, I think you see nirvana. And I feel like I got to a place where I was like, oh, I don't think I could feel much worse. And I don't think there's anything that anyone could say to me that would make me feel any worse than I already feel. So I might as well say, fuck it, we ball and do what I want to do. Do I hoop? No. Do I like the video glasses? I do. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. They freak my friends out sometimes though. And I was talking, and they can be kind of like, I can come off like a goober sometimes, which like fair. I'm a goober. I'll take it. Okay, I'm a nerd. I'll take it. But I was talking to this girl this one time and I thought she was kind of cute. And she was like, are those the meta glasses? And I was like, oh yeah, they are. They are the meta glasses. And I could tell there was like a, I don't know. Long story short, I do like the meta glasses. But depending on who you're talking to, some people are like, that's some nerd shit, you nerd. Thoughts on repurposed utility vans for van life? Oh yeah, the creepy white ones are goated. I guess I don't have many thoughts on repurposed utility vans. I haven't really experienced much with repurposed utility vans, but I do know there are some van lifers out here that buy like the old Amazon vans, the fleet vehicles, and turn those into their homes, which hell yeah, seems cool. I don't know too much about it. I probably will learn a little bit more about repurposed utility vans when I start talking to my uncle who sells used cars and spends a lot of time at auctions getting cars, because what I would like to do in the future is work with him and get an old van for super cheap and build it out in like a weekend and see how far that takes us. I don't know. Seems like it'd be fun. Oh my god, how'd you break them? That sucks. I'm sorry. I'm honestly surprised I haven't broken mine at this point. Because I'm pretty clumsy. I've dropped these a few times. They've definitely I think there was one time I was turning on the shower and I was bending over to turn it on, and then they slipped off my face into the water, but they're fine. I don't know. Sorry, yours broke though. Oh, not the dog. Ooh, that's tough. Ugh. Speaking of dogs, people are telling me to get a cat. That's not a dog, that's a cat. But so many of my friends want me to get a van cat, and I'm terrified. I love cats. I love cats down. I grew up with cats, and I'd love to have a friend in the van with me, but I feel like the second the cat pees in its litter box and I can smell it, I will experience neuroses. I don't think I can do it. And again, I love cats. Love them down. Love them down. I would never do anything to make a cat feel bad about doing what cats do, but I don't know if I could do cat smells in my van. I don't know. I know there are workarounds for this, but I love cats. I don't know if I could do it in my van. How old of a van are you thinking? I don't know how to answer that question. This van is a 2004 GMC Savannah. So she's almost as old as I am. Ooh, you've had them for about 3 years. Yeah, the new Ray-Bans are pretty cool. The new Ray-Ban Metas. They're the ones with the displays in them now, so you can talk, or not talk, but you can look at messages when people send you messages, and I think that's pretty cool. But something about them is a little scary. But the Ray-Bans, or not the Ray-Bans, the Meta Oakleys are pretty sick. I have a friend that's interested in getting some Meta Oakleys. Oh my gosh, Virginia in their rear view. Thank you so much for your super chat. That means so much to me. I appreciate that. Shout out to Virginia in their rear view. Okay. What are we? We're 45 minutes in. Allegedly the Grammys are on. Who's hosting? I don't know who's hosting the Grammys. I haven't checked. It seems like Trevor Noah hosts everything these days. I don't know. I probably snore when I sleep. I'll have to ask. There's no one who sleeps with me in this van, but maybe I'll have to like record a video next time. Find out. So these Ray-Bans are prescription. When I first got them, they weren't. And then I wear prescription glasses. I'm blind as hell. So when I got the original ones, in order to wear them and keep them on as I was, experiencing and going out and about, I'd have to put in my contacts and then put on my glasses. And putting on my contacts is fine, but it's kind of like a thing, like I can put on my contacts, but I wanted to create a way of taking videos that was super simple. So I realized that with my health insurance, and my vision that's under my health insurance, I could get the Ray-Bans Metas with my prescriptions and actually get them for half off. So I ended up doing that and I saved a bit of money. And it was pretty cool. And I sold the other pair for like $200 on Marketplace and did it that way. Thank you for your chat, Scott. Thank you so much for the support. Shout out to Scott. Do I have any sleep streams? I don't have any sleep streams. Well, I don't know. By sleep streams, do you mean just like, do I play stuff while I sleep? I've done it. I used to do like a rain sounds stream on Headspace, the Headspace app. But lately I've been like, if I do have something playing while I'm sleeping, it's the fire. I love the fire. It scratches the brain. It scratches the brain just right. Is he actually hosting the Grammys? Oh my god. I have no issues with Trevor Noah, but whenever I think of someone hosting the Grammys, it's either like Trevor Noah or Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know what's up with that. Do you think you could rip one of those little mini camp trailers for living in and then the van could just be more like storage and cooking space type thing? I've actually thought about that, but in reverse. So for a minute, I was like, what if okay, because one thing I'm thinking about right now is before I start traveling full-time in my van, like what I'm gonna do with my Kia. What am I gonna do with my other car? And for a second I was like, wait, I could like get a tow dolly for it and tow the Kia behind my van and use that for storage. But I might end up doing that. I actually don't know. We'll have to see. I just got a huge gust of air. I realized that my vent is still open. My goodness. Okay. So maybe we'll see. I like the idea of towing something with my van because my van has a pretty good tow package. I don't know how heavy it is, how much it can tow, but it's up there. It would make parking kind of weird. And I guess I'd be like kind of confined to like RV spaces and doing the thing where you kind of like take up or like go into like 2 spaces at once. That didn't make any sense, but it made sense in my mind. Oh, so you have the prescription ones. I think that's the way to do it. What's dopamine maxing? What is that? As someone with ADHD, I feel like I have the dopamine at max all the time. Do you understand what towing a Kia would do to your van's transmission? I don't know. How old are you? How old do you guys think I am? I'm curious. I'm curious. 25 is a good guess. 23 is also a good guess. I'm 26. I'm 26, y'all. I'm actually gonna be 27 in May, which feels insane. I feel like I'm still like 19 years old, even though I'm not. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if other people have experienced this, but it felt like 2020 through 2023 was, like, it felt like 50 years, but also like 1 year at the same time. A wild time. Yeah, it's weird. I feel like so much time has passed, but like so little time has passed at the same time. But no, I'm almost 27, which I feel like is kind of the year where everything is supposed to like, where you're supposed to like figure everything out. But if I've learned anything from experiencing life being around people who make a ton of money, as someone who was a software engineering twice and working in San Francisco, and then being around the people I grew up with, is that it seems that people at almost every stage, a lot of them, not everyone, but a lot of people at the end of the day are still like figuring their lives out. And that's okay. Yeah. Heavy on the like still feeling 16. I still feel like, I don't know, I still feel like I'm a teenager. It's the weirdest thing. I hope I always feel this way. And I also feel like age is a mindset as well. Like you can definitely like act 88 and be 25. You know, I've met some people like that. The 2020 and 2023 definitely felt like the upside down. It was a weird time. I was living in Rochester and everything was shut down, and I had like transferred to a different college, and then I moved to Boston. It was such a weird time, but also like kind of a great time at the same time. I don't know. 2020 especially was like something else. All right, y'all. I'm probably gonna get off in a sec, watch these Grammys, finish cleaning, but this was super fun. I really did not expect the amount of people that came in here to come in, so thank you guys so much for being in the stream. This was really, really, really fun, and I would like to make this a weekly thing. People are texting me. Yeah, I'd like to make this a weekly thing. This is super fun. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. You too, Virginia. I hope you guys like have a great rest of your week if you're working. And I guess I'll see you guys on the next live. All right, y'all. Bye.